While you are enjoying your meal, we do have a few toasts for our newlyweds. First, we have our best man, Jeff.
I'd just like to spend a few minutes to share with you a little about André and how he became my best friend. You see, I first met André on the internet, in an internet chat room. He was dedicated to computer music, and he called himself Ozone back then. And at that stage, I never expected to meet anyone from that place in real life. Because, I mean, everyone knew that the internet was full of weirdos and freaks. But when I met André in real life, well, my fears were confirmed. I mean, he was a Chinese guy who couldn't eat Chinese food. He didn't eat anything spicy, anything raw, anything that we normally ate. And when I first met him, he had pearly fingernails and a nail polish collection that would make many cosmetic shops, put many cosmetic shops to shame. But despite these quirks, we had a number of common interests, and over time, as I learned more about André, it was evident that he is relentlessly dedicated to everything that he pursues. From work and play to friendships, I've seen him work on ever-increasingly impressive projects, starting in Australia, to run his own consulting business, to now working at Pixar. And in friendship, despite the distance between Adelaide and Sydney, we constantly remain in contact, and his support and generosity have been legendary in my family. And he is now considered a part of our extended family. Over time, his appreciation for food has expanded and widened. And well, the nail polish, I think that might have been just a symptom of his inner romantic. And that hasn't changed one bit, because I think André is one of the most romantic guys I've ever met. André appeared in my life suddenly, and he has been an important part of it ever since. And about a year ago, Sasha beamed into his life, and it was obvious that André had finally met his perfect other half. In the 18 years that I've known André, I have never seen him happier. And so tonight, Sasha, I formally renounce my title as best friend to you, and I couldn't be happier. So a toast to friendship and romance.
Our next two individual toasts are from our maids of honor. First, Nicole.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not even going to try to speak any other languages because, as Sasha knows, I'm pretty terrible at French, so I'll just stick to what I know. Sasha and I have had the pleasure of knowing each other since high school, and she has been my best friend ever since. Sasha, I will have to say I was drawn to you somewhat reluctantly when we first met. Your energy and your magnetism overpowered my natural desire to be shy, I shall say. She is definitely someone who is extraordinarily easy to be friends with, and so I'm sorry, this is my first speech, so if I start breaking down and crying, you'll know. But Sasha, thank you for sharing in so many of my happy moments, for being there for me when things were tough, and for being an amazing friend, an amazing sister, daughter, and now wife. There are so many qualities about you that I think will make your marriage last extremely long. You're loyal, determined, and a fighter. Sasha, in high school, fought for everything against gender discrimination to helping me get the courage to ask someone out to the school dance. Thank you for that. I just want to say to the both of you, I hope that you continue to share in this love that you have for one another, which is so obvious to all of us sitting here. And it makes me that much happier and prouder to say to you that congratulations, you are now husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Pang. But before I go, thank you for the applause, I have a surprise visitor that you know is here, Mr. Sheeran, who has some words that he would like to share as well.
Good evening. My name is Mark Sheeran, and I was Sasha's French teacher and advisor for 4 years in high school. And one thing that Sasha may remember that she did was that when she applied to colleges, she had to sign a waiver form, which indicated that she would never see the recommendations that her teachers wrote for her for college. And it just so happens that I have right here my college recommendation that I wrote for Sasha when she applied to Harvard. And I would like to share that with you. Recommendation for Sasha Kukanova. Effortlessly navigating through 4 languages, unyielding in her drive to be an excellent student, achieving very high levels of athleticism in her skating, excelling in her piano playing, Sasha has distinguished herself in many ways since arriving at Nobles. As her advisor and French teacher during her high school career, I have witnessed a metamorphosis from a quiet, unsure individual to an intellectual star and well-loved classmate. In addition to her native Russian and her flawless English, Sasha speaks Spanish with ease, and her French is nearly fluent, though she's been taking it for only 4 years. I took a group of students to France at the end of her sophomore year, and many of our hosts were even convinced at that point that she was nearly fluent. Languages are superbly easy for her, and she would be a CIA dream candidate for any translation position. Her course load has been at the top level. Honor classes in all the courses we offer, a remarkable GPA. She has evolved into a tremendous critical thinker, embracing the world of intellectual skepticism. In a gentle way, I remember her calling me on a couple of points made when we were discussing Gide's La Symphonie Pastorale last year. She kept hearkening back to the text, taking a classic European method of analysis with a critical eye to the words themselves, always establishing connections between form and content. She's much more mature than other thinkers of her age, and she writes much better than they do as well. It would be easy to stop here, but it is unfair. As a person, Sasha is kind and family-oriented. Her parents, Tatiana and Dmitry, are very well-educated Russians who've had a predictably challenging time making the transition to America. They simply came to provide a better life for their family. Sasha's paternal grandmother is here as well, and she helps take care of Sasha's 2 younger siblings, Nastya and Grigor. The plain truth, however, is that Sasha runs the family in so many ways, because she is much more connected to American culture, to the English language, to the daily rhythms of American life. When they wanted a DSL line put into the house, Sasha had to do the negotiating. She is profoundly attached to her family, and though the typical teenage angst occurs when dealing with her parents, she is never critical of them. She understands the differences in the generation gap, which in their case is more of a cultural gap. As a result, she has had to make a lot more compromises than the average high schooler and exercise tremendous patience. After her experience in Washington this past summer, where she studied foreign policy, she had indicated that a career in diplomacy might be a real interest of hers. She's had excellent training at home in this area, and she definitely has the intellectual ammunition to be a trailblazer in this field. I highly recommend Sasha for admission. By dint of hard work, a clear sense of self, and a complete willingness to help those closest to her, she is an outstanding young woman. So, André, you're pretty lucky, let me tell you. Good luck to both of you.
Now for our maid of honor, Jaclyn.
Okay, so she speaks lots of languages. She's very, very smart, and I love her very much. But Sasha is not very suspicious, and it does not serve her well sometimes. Henry remarked that I helped André with the proposal, and the way this happened is that Sasha came into work one day and said, "Oh, Andre's parents are in Delaware for a wedding this weekend and have decided to stay another week and come to my father's birthday in Boston." And everyone that heard this looked at her and said, "Sasha, he is going to propose." No, he's not. No, he's not. So I go back to my desk and I ping André immediately and say, André, I am about to meddle in your relationship. You're going to propose, aren't you? And he said, yes, but I don't know what to do because the diamond that he is supposed to use to propose with is in Sydney and no one is there to bring it over. So after about an hour of back and forth and him consulting with the parents, we decided that, much like Sasha's grandfather had done many, many years before, making her grandmother her engagement and wedding ring out of a single gold coin, André would do the same thing and make a ring for Sasha to propose with his own two hands. And as he sat in my living room, and I watched him with a hammer and an anvil very, very carefully pounding out this piece of gold into this absolutely beautiful ring that he made for her, I thought, you know what, if this guy is brave enough and crazy enough to try something like this for Sasha, then he just might deserve our girl. And I thought about it a little longer and realized that I really shouldn't be surprised about it, because the first time I met André was about 2 weeks after Sasha's birthday. And I hadn't seen her yet, and I was meeting them at a coffee shop, and I was going to bring her birthday present. And her birthday present was a white plastic lamp in the shape of a standard dachshund, about the same size, exactly the same shape. And I'm sitting here having coffee with this man who I've never met before in a very crowded coffee shop, and he lets the dog sit on the table without batting an eye. All the looks, all of the laughter we get as people walk by, nothing. So we get up to leave, and he picks the dog up under his arm, and we walk down the street with it like it's a real animal. And again, doesn't bat an eye at all the looks we get walking down the street. So André, thank you for making our Sasha so happy. And in honor of your marriage, the dog that Sasha got that day, her name is Eva, after the robot in WALL-E. So André, in honor of your marriage today, I would like to present you with Eva's mate, WALL-E. May he shine forever under your desk, just like Eva. And may you continue to make each other this happy for the rest of your lives.
That's actually I like mine. I light them on fire. I let them flame out. Brown all the way around. You're from Michigan. You should know this, man.
We have like the metal box.
Oh, the big long one.
Yeah, the big long one.
marshmallow. That's the